My house is a mess right now. So today we are going to tackle this house. I just have things everywhere. I cleaned out the car this morning and I need to go through all the stuff that was in there. I have dishes from breakfast, and then also last night I made some muffins for my husband. So I've got all those dishes to do, and then there's some clean dishes. There's clean dishes in the dishwasher that need emptied. I've got, let's see, we have a fairy garden being made over here. This is super cute. A little fairy door. But that needs picked up. My desk needs help. And what do we have over here? Just some straightening up in the living room. And then the bathroom needs some help too. I have not cleaned it this week. And yeah, we just need some good old-fashioned cleaning going on here, and we are going to tackle all of that today. I've been thinking lately just how much the things that we do as homemakers bring a sense of peace to our homes and to our families. So really being a homemaker is being a peacemaker, because when we have a sense of peace in our homes, it actually in turn brings peace into society, because so much of what happens inside the home and in the walls of our home then reaches out and impacts how your family lives their lives and how they treat other people outside of your home and your family. On this particular day, just with having all the piles of messes throughout my home, it felt a bit chaotic. But when I was able to just devote some time to cleaning all of the piles of messes up, my home felt so much calmer and just more peaceful. And of course, my home is not perfect. It's definitely lived in, and my goal is never to have a perfect home. But I do want to stay on top of the messes. I want to be able to provide meals and just maintain organization in my home, because all of that creates stability and creates peace in the home. Of course, peace is more than just what is in your home and having a clean home. All of that is important, making sure that your family is fed and not worried about whether or not they're going to have a meal. That all brings peace, but it's also relational. And I often ask myself if my tone of voice or my attitude is causing peace in my home and my family, or is it causing strife? And I want to make sure that I am cultivating a peaceful home in the things that I do to care for my home, but also in the way that I lead as an example to my children and even to my husband. Proverbs 17 verse 1 says, "Better a dry crust eaten in peace than a house filled with feasting and conflict." So maybe your home is pretty simple like mine and not real fancy, but hopefully you are trying to cultivate peace in your home, no matter what it looks like, no matter the size. You and I as homemakers do so much to create a peaceful home for our families, and that is far better than trying to have a perfectly kept home and a huge home that is filled with lots of earthly possessions, because nothing can compare to the relationship that you build with your family. I got my kitchen looking much better, but we're going to take a break for lunch, and then I will be back at it. All right, we finished up lunch. The kids have been listening to the Boxcar Children on the Hoopla app. We have just our library account associated with it, and then I can download audiobooks, and that's been really good for lunchtime. So I kind of need a break. The kids just kind of need a break after school, and so lunchtime is a great time to listen to audiobooks. But anyways, I am going to cook up this pumpkin. My son had gotten this pumpkin and the squirrels had started eating it, so there was like a little rotten spot. So I cut that rotten part out and I cut it apart, and now I'm going to put it in the crock pot, but it's too big, so I'm gonna have to cut it up into smaller pieces and cook it in stages. I don't want to turn on my oven. We have the windows open, but it's supposed to get warm today, and we'll have to end up closing the curtains or closing the windows, turning on the AC, but I don't want to have to like heat up the house along with that. So I'm gonna just cook it in stages in the crock pot and make my own pumpkin puree that way. This time of year is always busy as we get back into homeschooling and all of the seasonal activities. And sometimes it can feel hard just to keep up with all of my homemaking tasks along with just living life. This particular week, we had things going on outside the home every single day, so I didn't have a lot of time to devote to a lot of my weekly cleaning. So instead, I focused on my daily tasks of making meals, keeping up with the laundry, and cleaning up the kitchen after dinner. When I am in a busy season, sometimes that is all that I can do with my time and energy, so I just focus on those most important homemaking tasks. Then, when I do have some extra time, I'm able to complete those weekly chores, which are important, but not necessary for living. So the bathrooms can be a little dirty for a few days, but my family has to eat. I can skip a week of dusting, but I have to do the laundry so that my family has clean clothes to wear. Focusing on those daily tasks helps me feel less overwhelmed, and it keeps the piles of dishes and the piles of laundry small, and it makes it much easier to tackle. Okay, we got the kitchen, dining room, my desk area, and the living room mostly picked up. It's not perfect. Probably could have used some dusting and some mopping. But at least we are looking a little more peaceful in here, not so chaotic and messy. So now I'm gonna go tackle that bathroom. Okay, I have a few things that need to be refilled. I've got some more soap that I need to put in here that goes underneath the sink in the cabinet. And then my plackers need to be refilled. And then this is totally just a non-essential thing, but we like having it in this pretty bottle, our lotion. So I'm going to add lotion to this Ziploc bag, cut the tip off, and then squeeze it in here to refill that. So I'll get that done. And then there was one other thing. My shower curtain, I noticed was getting kind of grungy, like especially right here where people like pull it over to get in the shower. So I am going to take that down and wash it as well. Scrubbed the shower and the floors. I just didn't get it on film, but the bathroom is clean now except for the shower curtain. The pumpkin is done. I can stick a fork in it. So I'm gonna turn the crock pot off and just let it sit for a little bit. We are having sausage balls, so it's just 2 cups of flour, 4 cups of shredded cheese, a pound of sausage. Sometimes I add a little water or milk to it just to moisten it up. And you just mix it all together and then roll it into balls to cook in the oven, and that's it. I used to only buy frozen hash browns, but when I have enough time, I like to make them from scratch. And my family loves potatoes, so we have them in some form, whether it's mashed or roasted or fried, at least a couple of times a week. For another easy side, I cooked some apple slices that were seasoned with honey and cinnamon and nutmeg. I'm trying to cut back on my sugar. So I usually make breakfast for dinner once a week, and overall, it was a pretty easy dinner that my family enjoyed.